Just a couple years ago, if you were looking for this particular spec, good luck. I'm talking about the wide hips package, aka the DRW, aka dually. I borrowed this truck from Jerry Seiner Chevrolet. It is available for sale, and it's the highest trim level you can get. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see some of the pricing, and then I'll show you guys around this build. At the very top is the description and the color. So this is just the Summit White, not the iridescent pearl. And then this is just a quick listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause it. Base price comes in at $76,100. And here are all the options. So you have the diesel tech package, auxiliary trailer camera for $650, gooseneck and fifth wheel prep package, hitch package, high idle switch, trailer tire, pressure monitoring system for $50, and then destination's $1995 with a total price of $90,695. So let me get this straight. You can buy a brand new dually from Chevy just over $90,000. You can't do that with Ford in the highest trim. You definitely can't do it with GMC nor Ram. Now for 2025, that price did go up by $1,000. So if you were looking at 2024 with the same exact spec, well, you could have got it just under 90 grand. Now with that being said, for 2025, they did add adaptive cruise control as standard equipment for the high country. Apart from that, just very minor differences I'm going to show you here in a second. But on the front end, I don't care what anyone says. This is a really nice looking truck. I think that even the 2023 and earlier, they had a nice design. It's really beefy, and they just really cleaned it up for the 2024 plus redesign, or refresh I should say. LED headlights and fog lights. And I never really point this out, but check out the accent they give you on that trimming there. I like that. And you have the animations with these headlights too. Now the grille on the high country has a satin finish, and then this trim piece here is like a bright chrome. Down below you can see more of that satin finish right there. Chrome recovery hooks, reflective style LED fog lights, front parking sensors, and then your functional hood scoop for the diesel. Off to the side, someone had said last year or earlier this year that they were going to get rid of the 18-inch wheels, and that's just not the case. I am so glad they didn't do that. I think that these wheels make the dualies on the GM products for sure. They almost should be standard, at least on the LT and up. But great design, and they are wrapped in a Michelin tire. Tire size is LT 235 80 18, and here is the capacity. 3,195 pounds for single, 2,910 for dual, 80 psi. Fabric material for the wheel well. I would like to see them add an option to paint these, by the way, or at least have it like painted black. That'd be nice too, in my opinion. Here's your suspension, independent. And then some of the badging. There is an option to black all this out too. Or not this, but you can black out the rest of the emblems like this. And still for 2025, you cannot get a delete for the chrome on the dualies. Now if you get a single rear wheel, you can delete the chrome. There is availability for power deployable running boards and smart key system on the front doors, and then some of your lighting for backing up, blind spot monitoring. Convex is not power. A little bit of chrome below the window here. And this trim is only available for the high country too. 36-gallon fuel tank. I might be beating up on Chevy today, but it's okay. I was hoping to see a larger fuel tank option, but you know, they still have a decent size, 36 gallons. If you don't travel long distances, like when we were living in an RV full time, we would typically go about 400 or 500 miles a day. So that's probably just filling up maybe once on the trip. But yeah, 36 gallon, 7 gallon. And they still provide the steps on the dually. Your clearance lights there. More steps out back. And then check out the concave look on these duals. They do not give you a aluminum out back, it's just a steely. Oh wow, this one has the, I don't think I've ever seen it actually. This is the liner that my dually didn't have, and yeah, I wish it did, because it makes cleaning out the back a lot easier. And then here's your suspension. You have 4 leads in the main pack and 3 overloads. And then here are your taillights. Painted bumpers, class 5 hitch. You have the 2 camera inputs right there. And this one does not have the multi-flex tailgate for the Chevys. And I'm okay with that, and I'll show you why in a second. 400 watts of power, bed lights. You have your 4 and 7 pin. There's your hitch kit right there if you were wondering what that was. And then you do have 2 cameras above the cab there. And I did notice that they no longer stamp High Country or whatever trim level you got. I don't think they did it for all of them, but yeah, High Country, they definitely did stamp that, but they don't do that anymore. But the reason why I would skip the multi-flex tailgate is because of this. I like the idea that you can put it with power, but if you select that option, that goes away. Down below here, you guys see your spare tire, and then 342 rear end with the automatic locker. And here's the side view. Let's go ahead and check out the powertrain. Here is your Gen 2 L5P Duramax, 6.6 liter displacement. They did updates to it in 2024, mainly to the combustion and the turbo. You can kind of see that controller right there. That's basically new as well. 16:1 compression. And you know, one thing I like about this engine is they decided to get away from the CP4, right? And so now they're using a Denso system, and the injectors are also through Denso. And one thing I like about this setup is those injectors can do up to 7 injection events per combustion sequence. 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. All that power runs through a 10-speed stamp-approved Allison transmission. I think first gear is like a 454 to 1, so very deep gears, which is why you don't have a 410 or a 373 out back. And I will say that dualies have a little secret sauce. I just drove this truck earlier today. It's got a little secret sauce in it, especially over the single rear wheels for sure. So if you want just a little bit more oomph, get the dually. The good news for 2025 is you can still get the black or that night shift blue, and there's also like a 2-tone brown interior for the High Country, so nothing changes there. The only major difference I've seen in the interior so far is right here. So for 2024, they wrapped this area in this perforated leather, and it looked absolutely amazing. For 2025, they just took it away, and that's okay. They did the same thing for the GMC trucks too. Bose sound system, love the speaker grill design, and check out your stitching and piping here. It's like a fabric material for the piping, and perforated leather right there. Real wood. You can kind of feel how porous it is too. You have your seat memories, and here's all your controls for your mirrors for tow mode and for power folding on both sides. And then here's your carpet mats. One thing to note, do not order all weather floor mats with your truck. Get them at the dealership or after the fact, because they will delete these carpet ones here, and they're really nice too. More of that satin. And then you have your kick plate. 10-way seat. Let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. Same story, 10-way seat, and that is including the lumbar as well. Nice wood trim piece right there. Soft touch on the dash. And if you're planning on using this truck for a bed camper that goes inside the bed, this is the sticker for that. It's gonna have 4,519 pounds of capacity. Now that's not the payload, that's just what they're saying you can put in the back of the bed for a camper. And you guys see there, that's for your tire pressure monitoring for your trailer. Now right here, this is probably the camera system. I don't feel comfortable opening that up, because if it gets stolen or something like that, I'm not going to be responsible for that. So I'm not going to open it up. Maybe one day if I have a chance, maybe I can find someone who buys a truck, and then I can show you guys their setup here. But here's the rear behind the passenger. Nice speaker grills in the rear. Seat back pockets on both sides. More perforated leather. Really nice design truck. Let's go ahead and jump back up front in the driver's seat. So here's your electronic parking brake, full drive system with driving modes and tow haul. Lighting's right there. And this truck does have heads-up display. Let's go ahead and start it up. There was some animations. I started it way too quick, but it's okay. Now you can see that heads-up display right there. Shows the miles an hour. Also, you have this. They've been doing this for a while now. LED interior lighting, home link. One of the reasons why I would get a High Country over the LTZ is number one, obviously the painted bumpers, but the other thing is the black headliner. It just looks so much nicer for the truck. And they also have the larger screens, heated steering wheel, and as I said, adaptive cruise control came standard for this year. Down below, just right of the engine start stop, trailer brake, dual climate control, heated and ventilated front seats, 2 USBs, type A at the top, type C at the bottom, open storage, cup holders, the wireless charger, 2 USBs, power plug, and deep storage right there. On this 13.4 inch display, you do have dual screen here, so you can actually see multiple things. Like if you have your trailer tire pressure monitoring set up, you can see your tire pressure and the temperature for the tires using those in your trailer. So you definitely want to add that option. I want to say it's triple the price if you were to buy it at the dealership. So if you're ordering a truck, even if you're a dealer ordering a truck, just order them every time with that. It doesn't make sense. Another thing is add the auxiliary switches. I think for 150 bucks for that option, it's just nice to have if you ever decide you want to get the AEV bumper in the future on your dually. Well, it would be nice to already have that already wired for you, so if you want to add lighting to it or anything, you could just have the auxiliary switch already installed from the factory. So it's just a simple thing to do. Here's your 360 camera, bed view cameras right here. You can zoom in. Also, you can actually have a backup line when you have it for the trailer line. And you can obviously still customize this screen. You can take things out of the side here. I like to put my cameras there so I can just use it to make it easier to back up. Just below the screen, here's some buttons for exhaust brake. This is a lane keep assist alert. Your parking sensors can be disabled. You can drop the tailgate. Let's see. Let's put this camera back on. I'm gonna push the button again. So you guys see that? Maybe I'll zoom in. You can also lift it back up. That's why I would just skip out on that multi-flex tailgate personally. A little bit of storage there too, by the way. You don't get that on the GMCs, but yeah, caution lights, traction control, and you can drop all the windows down at once. That's probably for heat or if someone decided to fart in the truck. Here's the center console right here. It says High Country. You have perforated leather, more stitching. This is really a nice truck. I have to give it to Chevy. They've done such a great job making this truck just very, very affordable for what you're getting. I'm not saying it's affordable for everyone, but it's just more affordable than the other two basically. Now on this screen here, this needs some work for me personally. I like to see a gauge summary with all the temperatures. I'm thinking about getting a Banks readout for right here, and I do give a discount code in the description for that and anything else you want to buy from there, so just be sure to check it out. Let's go ahead and check out the Payload, and then that will pretty much end this video. So here's where Chevy gets no love. Gross axle rating out front 6,000 pounds, but they have class leading out back at 10.4, which is more important sometimes than even Payload. Gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 14,000 pounds. And then you guys see the wheels are 18 by 6.5 wide. Also, Payload is 5,269 pounds. That is really good. 20,000 pound conventional towing, 31,000 for Gooseneck. This truck weighs on the curb 8,731 pounds. 40,000 pound gross combined weight rating, and they want you to run the tire pressure at 75 up front, 70 in the rear. I wish they did it a little bit lower, so if you want to run 37s like I did, you don't have to throw a tire pressure light all the time unless you run it at max 65. I think 61 PSI if you want to run 37s. I think 60 to 61 helps that light not to come on. But I hope you guys liked the video. This is definitely one of the best dualies on the market because of the fact that the pricing, and as you guys saw, it has class-leading rear gross axle rating, big payload, and big towing capacity.